All right, it's 1:30. We will call the finance meeting to order and we'll begin with the roll call, please, Audrey.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioner Neiderer.
Here.
Commissioner Foschi.
I'm here.
Commissioner Neiderer.
Present.
All right, very good. We'll open it up to public comment. Audrey, is there anyone online to make a public comment? If so, you need to raise your hand.
Not showing public comment.
Okay, very good. And I believe we just have fellow county co-workers here and some library folks. That we have then up consent agenda with listing approval of the minutes and an appointment.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We'll go into the regular agenda then. And the first up, we have a few employee recognitions. So we will call up Justin Smith, and his Mark Adams is also here.
Sorry, guys.
Justin, 20 years?
Yes.
I can't believe it. Seems a little crazy.
Yes.
I was thinking about this, though. It's so wonderful that 20 years of the county, and you're currently in the throes, hopefully nearing the end of a very large project that is going to be incredibly impactful to the county. So thank you for what you're working on currently and over the past 20 years.
Thank you.
So,
Appreciate it.
Yep, thank you. And Mark, I don't know if you wanted to officially do the handoff, but
I will, and I wanted to share, Justin's been with the county for 20 years. I think GIS was started shortly before that. So he's been with GIS for quite a long time, probably 19 years leading the charge and transforming that office into a simple GIS office to now like we're doing centralized GIS.
so just for GIS, what's the acronym stand for?
Geographic Information Systems. Basically computer mapping. That's how I describe it to everybody else. Mapping with computers.
Okay, and it's not just used in the assessment office. It plays a really critical role to our 911 center.
Absolutely.
As well, because that's how they locate and find people. So I wanted, sorry, I'm new to all of this, so I need those explanations.
Planning, assessment, and all those different departments, smaller departments. And the more we do centralized GIS, the more his services will be used for things like elections, vector control, and other departments that can use mapping services. And so Justin has been leading the charge for the county, and his work with the municipal governments and the state initiatives have really helped with things like 911 and next gen 911 addressing and things like that. So we're prepared for all that stuff, and a large part due to Justin's work with the state level. So, and you know, personally, he's been even more lately as we get more pulled together in groups within the IMPO office. Justin has been very good supportive of me and my initiatives and my objectives, and so I appreciate your support for me as well. So thank you for your 20 years. I appreciate your help. Yeah.
Oh, you need some pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just perfect. All right, everyone, look here. Gonna take a couple. All right. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, I just when I came in the room, I
Oh,
realized that I worked on this, but 19 years ago.
You give us enough.
Wow.
I won't interrupt you. These are all those times you've handled all those constituent phone calls.
Yes.
Because I know people really use that assessment database. And then
Property
GIS
mapper, yeah. I hear about it as soon as it goes down.
I know. Favorite on our Justin, can we get an interactive one that we can point to and all of that stuff and
Adding more technology to the next.
I know. Next up, we also have an employee recognition as part of the Cumberland County Library System, again, for 20 years, which is exciting, for David Wellinger. So come on up, David.
And Carolyn Blatchley, the
Yes,
director
Carolyn.
of the Cumberland County Library System, is here with David also.
Commissioner Foschi, who serves on the library board, is happy to make this presentation on behalf of. Well, congratulations, David. Thank you for 20 years of service to the library system and to the people of Cumberland County. Libraries are so important, and they mean so many things to so many people, the children, seniors, everyone in between. Thank you so much for your service. I so appreciate it, as I know the board does also. And Carolyn, I'll just let you.
Okay. Well, Dave came to us from the US Navy. He was a retired veteran and came to interview with us 20 years ago. Started out as a part-time computer technician, and now he is, I believe the title's IT analyst, but he's head of our public computers, the whole network of public computers, about 130 computers. All of the RFID systems, the self-checks, all of the systems that do things to help the public on our, our online services and in library services. So it's quite a big job, a lot of security administration, a lot of backup for our network administrator and other people on staff. And just, he's been an invaluable person on our staff. And I'm so glad to present you with this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Want to add anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay. We're glad the military, you had us as the second career here in the county is better for your service here as well.
Appreciate it.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Are we gonna get some pictures? Do you need us to be more formal? Okay.
All right. All right, then I want to get one more as well. Justin, can I get Justin up there and swap so we can have the two employees being recognized for 20 years?
It's a club.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you very much. Sure. Thanks.
All right. Ladies, you have a tough act to follow.
No clapping and no pictures.
Next up, we have the folks from Penn State Agriculture Extension, and they're going to provide us with a quarterly update. Thank you for coming.
And thank you for having us, and thank you for the support. We look forward to our quarterly update, and there's always so much to share, and that's all because of the level of support that you at the county provide to us. And Annie is going to share a little about the business side and the MOU we have, and I'm going to share some of the impacts. So just to give you some of that technical side, since we're following, GIS, our website in the first quarter had 13,400 hits from Cumberland County IP addresses. Looking on the Penn State PSU website, and the top searches were health and wellness topics and pesticide education. And that sort of tracks for pesticide education because all of our local producers or folks who work in an industry that need credits would be doing that at the beginning of the year during sort of the downtime. We've had in this last quarter great workshop attendance with 1,700 local folks just from Cumberland County coming to workshops. And the top workshops were gardening for pollinators, gardening with nature, and cooking for crowds and Let's Cook series. And I believe two of you were at one of the Let's Cook series charcuterie boards.
Yeah, it was great.
So I received feedback from one of our newer educators. Oh, Commissioner, it was big news that day.
Thank you. That's kind.
Without the love on that team. Webinars are very popular for us because there are some folks that after working all day, they don't want to go out and go to an in-person thing. So we had almost 1,200 folks attend webinars. And the topic of forest health, there was a big forest health series. That was the top choice for the folks doing those webinars, followed closely by family health, and then business financial tracking. So folks, that was interesting to me that's what people were looking for after hours. We have a deep bench of folks who went out and did 56 site visits to local folks, and that's not counting your volunteers. That's not master gardeners, master watershed stewards, or 4-H. These are educators who are out there, like our agronomy educator, Tosh Mazzone, had a new farmer come into the office and had a box full of weeds. And he wants to start an alpaca farm and wanted weeds identified. And Tosh went out to his property and did a survey with him and helped him come up with a plan for attack and how to manage that. Then he also came back and talked to the master gardeners because, you know, when you have anybody bring a plant into the office and there's master gardener volunteers, they want to know. So he also sat down with the master gardener volunteers and talked to them about some of these pasture weeds. So education always happening. It's a great thing. I've sent you updates about HPI and dairy and about the Juro spiders, and we have folks on staff. If you are getting any questions about that, just send them to us and we'll take care of that. And I've mentioned our volunteers. We have about 500 volunteers when you count master gardener volunteers, 4-H members and volunteers, and our master watershed people. And that's a great group of dedicated folks. You'll see some of the master gardeners just across the street here in July. If you go to the market, they're going to be doing some pollinator work at the farmers market, and that starts in July. They'll also be at Pollinator Fest in August and at the Camp Hill and Carlisle libraries giving programs and continue to run their hotline. So far, they've put in 2,500 hours as master gardener volunteers, and they've had almost 3,000 contacts with answering questions and delivering programs. So that's very significant. In 4-H, we have embryology, and I believe Tina talked about that when she was here in our first quarter update, and she was leaving here to go get eggs to take to schools. She managed to go to 21 classrooms to do an embryology project with 445 students.
Oh, good.
And that's great. I remember doing that embryology project when I was in school and thinking, what is 4-H? And here we are today. Our master watershed stewards are working on a state pilot program to bring youth into the master watershed program. So they're working on, it's called Future Master Watershed Stewards. So there'll be more information coming out with that, and we'll see how they interact with the schools and with other local organizations that serve youth. Our water educator was also working to help youth understand how to manage water resources. Andy has created a workshop and materials for teachers to use in classrooms to teach water resource education. And everybody lives downstream from somewhere. So he has some very nice tactile displays for students to be able to pour water and see how it goes through a system. And we also have virtual reality that you can go down and see what it looks like in a well and how your water is managed underground. So interesting things. Miranda Harple is our business and development education specialist, and she has several things coming up. She's been doing a lot of food for profit webinars and has about 48 to 50 people attending those. So her first class was managing social media and doing that food for profit series. So something very specific to a target audience that would be using that. She also has upcoming farmers market programming coming up throughout the season with farmers market managers and anyone that's selling at markets. She's trying to work with John Bittner at Weights and Measures, and he has a concise little program to show that if you have your scales calibrated of how much money you could be saving. He does that if it's off just by a quarter of a pound or that he puts that into dollars and cents. So him and Miranda are working together with the markets. And onto our nutrition educators. We have programs at New Hope Ministries, West Shore, Mechanicsburg, and Enola centers talking how to stretch food dollars. Amy's also working a summer youth program with West Shore Recreation. And she's very excited to be collaborating with Cumberland County Intermediate Unit Elect program. So she's going to help pregnant teens with nutrition education and how to stretch food dollars. And she is just so pleased to have that connection. And then we also have lip classes and our Let's Cook series coming up as well. So that's just a few of the things that we've been doing. And then Annie is the one making sure that the lights are on, and she's doing all that work that makes my head spin. So she's going to just give you a little update as well.
So I don't know if you remember, but we operate under a 3-year MOU with the county. So we are currently 2025 will be the time to renew that. So we've been working with Kirk Stoner to put together an MOU that will actually capture all the services that we're providing. He's a real numbers guy. So we're actually digging down on, specifics of how many volunteer hours, how many programming hours. And that just went through Penn State's risk management. It's on to general counsel. We'll give it back to you. So I think we'll have that within the next couple of weeks is my hope, because there may be some HR things that we have to do as we move services over to Penn State.
Okay, great. Thank you for the heads up on that. Donna, I have to laugh. I did attend the charcuterie, and I had some friends over, and it was very last minute, and I was throwing something together, and I was so glad she wasn't there to witness, because she would have thought I was not paying attention at the seminar. But the other thing I sincerely wanted to offer too, if you ever do anything where you have your volunteers in a group, we would welcome the opportunity to thank them for their time and efforts to help improve the lives of the residents of Cumberland County. So I don't know how you manage that group, but if there's any time that we could ever address them, please reach out to us. We would be honored to be able to do that.
We will do that. Most of our programs have a recognition evening at different times of the year. So we'll make sure to get those links out to you as soon as we get them, so you can,
that's great.
You can see about that. We also have trainee classes for Master Watershed and Master Gardener volunteers. Would you want those folks invited to a meeting to?
Or we could pop in if it works on our schedules to pop in and thank them as at some training. We're very, we try and do that if at all possible. With our schedules can get a little crazy, but if we can make that work, we would certainly welcome the opportunity to do it. And we won't interfere with the programming, just say thank you and
great.
If it can work, that would be great.
I'm sure we can make those things work out.
Did anyone else have questions or?
Well, today.
Thank you.
Well, I enjoyed judging the speech contest. Oh, that was such a great time. That was back early spring. And of course, I'm looking forward to the auction. I already have my,
At the
yeah,
fair,
I
yeah.
already have my, the letters are coming in, right, from, 4-H students. They're excellent too,
They're
I always
really
get
incredible.
a kick out of them.
Yeah, they're really incredible kids.
Mhm.
It was this, I didn't realize, that was my first auction to attend in a very long time, and last year, and they're really the students are charged with going out and engaging with the folks that were in attendance, and I was so impressed with the students that came up and introduced themselves and just their demeanor and the way they carried themselves. It is one of those challenges that we're seeing amongst a group of folks that we're trying to hire is that they have difficulty in communicating directly with people. So I think what a wonderful trait to be, helping to develop in the 4-H students, and they had it in spades. The folks that came up
And their
talk.
kids that stay in the county too,
Yes.
a lot of
Yeah.
them. So, and I think about, when you have your ag preservation, who are you preserving for, right? And that's your future, right there, the kids that are gonna come back, so.
That's great.
We'll take this feedback back and share.
Yeah, and I guess the ag teacher from Cumberland Valley was was it Darla?
Teacher of the year.
Teacher of the
Darla
year, Darla Rumberger, was teacher of the year, which was really spectacular too. So, and I attended that, some of the graduation. I was astounded to see the number of students participating in that program.
Darla serves on our county extension council. And it's great because she's reached out in the past to educators saying we need some programs for some of the students. And we've had our water quality folks there as well as the ones that you would assume like our dairy educator. But yeah, it's a great partnership. It's a very small community when you get down to it.
Yeah. But very welcoming. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
You didn't want our picture.
Told you nobody would call.
All right. Is there any other business to come before the board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. So moved. We are adjourned.